Hello again. This is Erin Lundy. I am a physical therapist with Milestone Therapy Inc. And today's fun tutorial is going to be about tummy time. And this is because I've had so many requests from friends, family members, and even colleagues asking me, details about tummy times. What should it look like? How often should we do it? Why is it important? And guess what? We're going to answer all of that today. So get ready. So to kick us off here, we're going to start with a visual demonstration about why tummy time is important. And I love this photo because I found it on Facebook. It's a viral photo and it really resonated with me because I literally see this type of movement, this type of pattern every single day of my job. And so what you see here is that this kid has spent so much time on his back. And this trend really started in 1995 when the American Pediatric Association recommended that kids be put on their backs to go to sleep to reduce sudden infant death syndrome, which is great. Yeah, we don't like that. However, negative effects that came from that is that parents are putting their kids on their backs all day long or in a container all day long, and that hinders their ability to learn gross motor development. It hinders their ability to increase their strength of all their muscles, and also, not to mention, you see this kid has a super flat head, and guess what? If you don't fix that within 12 to 15 months by getting it evaluated by a physical therapist, and they might refer you to an orthotist where you might need a helmet, and also not putting your kid on their belly, they're going to be stuck like that literally for the rest of their lives with an asymmetrical face, and their glasses are going to fit funny. Yeah, you don't want that. So anyway, not to be too, brash, but that's the reality, and it's really frustrating to see it every day.
And also, here's another visual to describe what that facial asymmetry looks like even into adolescent years, because that facial asymmetry is going to continue when they have a flat head that is not corrected or the child is not placed on tummy time for very often. Here's another photo of another child that has facial asymmetries from being placed on their back for too long.
So, see, this kid has a flat head. It's from being on his back with the forces on the ground pushing back up into the back of his head, flat head. Then you also see he has a curved spine. That's because he has weakness. He hasn't developed any of his back muscles. He hasn't developed any of his shoulder muscles. He should be sitting up like this. This kid's 11 months. He should have a flat back, but what it really is just curved because he doesn't have anything holding him up. And also, I've seen a trend even among 6-year-olds. They have wing scapula, which means that their shoulder blades stick out because they don't have enough muscle tone to support themselves. It affects their handwriting. I could go on a whole soapbox about this. Tummy time is really important, you guys.
And because I love visuals so much, you can see here that's what I'm talking about with the wing scapula. You see how shoulder blades stick out because of all that muscle weakness.
So question number 2 is, how much tummy time should my kid be getting? How long should they be on their belly? Well, because I hear parents say all the time, like, I don't know why my kid's not learning how to crawl. I don't know why their head's flat. I don't know why they're not moving around very much. They get 3 to 5 minutes of tummy time a day. Well, you just answered your own question because that's not enough. The recommended amount is that the child should be on their tummy for all supervised waking hours. That means as long as that child's awake and you're able to safely supervise them, that's when they should be on their belly. And I know that sounds super daunting to a lot of parents that, are only starting from this 3 to 5 minute range and their kid hates tummy time. Well, we're going to go over some strategies today about how to make it more fun for you guys, how to get your child habituated and used to being on their belly. And then also just trying to come up with some strategies that really work the best for your family. Okay, question number 3 and 4 from parents is often they'll say, okay, when do I start doing tummy time? The answer is first week of life. And yes, that does sound a little scary because they're really, really little and you don't want to do anything to harm them. But guess what? Putting them on their backs, starting all the way from week 1 up, is harming them. So what we're going to do is talk about question number 4, about what tummy time actually looks like, just so that way it's not so scary to you guys. So, lovely assistant for the day, Miss Raggedy Ann. She's going to show us how to just basically do tummy time. And I will say a little caveat is when you put your child on their belly, depending on what age they are, it might look a little bit different, but in general, it looks like this. So, you're going to have Raggedy Ann on her belly here, and you can have her arms placed out underneath her to support her. And depending on what age she is, she can rotate her head out to the side. She can try to look up, because really what you're just cueing is all of this great extension that she's getting along here, all this head control, all of it is so pivotal to the rest of her life and to all of her development as a child. Not to just like, make a great statement there, but really it's so important. So basically you just put your child here. You can say, all that sounds great, but my kid hates tummy time. So you can use a little throw pillow for your 1 to 2 month old little babies, and you can have it placed on the floor. So you place it on the floor, and you basically have the kid resting their hands up here. They can have their little knees down here. They can take a little like look over here, and you just basically just hang out. And one of the keys here is I always say have some toys nearby. For some reason, this is one of the crowd favorites of every single baby I've ever had. And yes, that's blending in with the green right here. So basically, you have the kid hanging out right here. And then you like turn this, and then it pops up, and they just think it's the most fun thing ever. Push that, oh, that's so fun. And so anyway, the game just keeps on going on and on. And for some reason, the most fun part is when the kids flip it back down, and then you surprise them again for some reason. So another fun strategy, if your child is a little bit older, like let's say 5-6 months, and they're starting to kind of pop up on their knees a little bit more and they've got a longer torso, another strategy that you can use is a couch cushion. So basically, you're going to have this kid draped over the edge here with their hands up here and their feet down here. And that's basically the progression from the throw pillow all the way to the couch cushion. And see how this has a little bit more of like a firm support system here, so that it really kind of helps prop them up a little bit more and they don't just basically fall flat and then fly out. Okay, let's say that you don't have a couch cushion or a throw pillow handy, but you do have a blanket handy. Well, guess what? You're in luck, because what you can do is roll it up like a little bolster here, place it on the ground, and have your kid basically lean over here. So what they're doing is they're learning to put a little bit of weight through their hands, but see, again, they're getting more great extension. You can have them here on their knees, just kind of have them relax a little bit. You can also make the bolster higher or lower depending on your kid's abilities and their height. And again, pull out their favorite toy. Have them kind of have fun with this while they're hanging out here. And let's say that they're really not tolerating it and they're saying, just screaming bloody murder. I think parents have a pretty good idea of knowing when to stop, like when their kid's inconsolable and when they need to, keep pushing it. So if your kid really just like screams for hours and hours and never really habituates or gets used to this, you can break it up into like little, again, those 3 to 5 minutes that you guys were so proud of. Break it up into those little segments. I've heard some parents say that they'll do this like little increments, like when they do a diaper change or whenever they have to feed, different things like that. Just kind of like add it as part of your routine, break it up in smaller intervals, and you can build up to something a lot bigger. So let's say that you don't have a throw pillow, a couch cushion, or a rolled up blanket to really assist with this being on the belly. You have your leg. So what you can do, I always tell parents to try to put their kid on the outside of their leg, so that way the child is looking up at them, smiling, and really getting that excellent extension through the trunk. So you have their child here, down on their knees, draped over the side of your leg, and you're looking up, and the two of you are just having a great time. So this is another way you can try to ease them into it. Another thing that you don't need any equipment for is basically just holding your kid like this, because guess what? Even though it's not completely on their back or it's not completely on their belly, you're holding them here and supporting them, and no force is being placed through the back of their head. Isn't that cool? Guess what other fun piece of equipment that you could use? Your physioball that I'm sure a lot of moms use during pregnancy. So you basically have your kid laying here on their belly, and you can bounce them to kind of try to make them feel a little bit more comfortable. A lot of kids really like being bounced. They don't even realize that they're doing work. So you have them bouncing here. You can roll forward, side to side, and just basically make them feel comfortable and supported. So that's another way you can kind of grade in that tummy time, even though you're not directly on the floor. One other really fun technique that I've seen a lot of parents and therapists use are these things called Crinkle Books. And you can get these on Amazon. You can order them. Honestly, if you just Google Crinkle Books, this is what's going to pop up. But basically, it's a textured book that really will capture a child's interest. And basically, it makes a good crinkly sound whenever they play with it. They can put it in their mouth. It's safe. And then also, it allows you to sit on the floor with a kid, and then you also are reading to them. You're interacting with them, which reinforces like them having a really positive experience with this tummy time. So just another technique. So let's say that your baby's still really not having this. They're still really upset. You know, they can only be entertained by the Crinkle Book for so long. They can only be entertained by the bouncing ball for so long. One of the things I use a lot of times is just like alternating like, different things to make the child happy, kind of catch their interest. Their attention span's really low. So I do things like singing. You can sing like the ABCs, any kind of song that they like, have their toy dangling up above to kind of cue them to look up. And also, one of the most hidden gems that I think is underutilized are bubbles, because I think kids really just have such a fun time with these. They're really fascinated by them. They try to reach up, again, getting that great extension through their back and having just lots of fun with it and lots of fun with you, because this is a great bonding activity for the two of you. Even though a lot of parents think about this as a time to get work done, a time for their kid to be very structured, make it fun for your whole family. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to be carried through. It's not going to be sustainable, and your kid's really not going to enjoy it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was informative and made you feel a little bit less stressed about this whole concept of tummy time and how is it going to work for your family. And hopefully you can pick and choose and see what strategies work the best for your family and incorporate those in your daily lives. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night.